Trump transition team has been moving very, very fast since the election. The president-elect has announced names for 20 key administrative posts so far. Here to update us on what's happening is ABC's Molly Nagel, joining us from our Washington bureau. Molly, good to see you this Sunday. Trump tried to distance himself from something called Project 2025. That was talked about a lot during the campaign. At some points, he said he doesn't really know what it is. He doesn't know the people who are doing it. But now he's tapped an architect for a key role. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Russ Vought is somebody who is going to now fill Trump's Office of Budget and Management nomination. That's a job that he actually held during the first Trump administration. And that's a job that has a lot of insight or oversight of the president's agenda. He oversees the budget and helps to implement it across various agencies. So a significant role there. But Vought obviously has a very strong ties to this Project 2025 proposal, which would seek to drastically overhaul the federal government to expand the powers of the presidency and really cut down on some federal agencies, things like the Department of Education, for example. But he's not the only member of Trump's administration who has ties to this project. When you talk about Tom Homan, Trump's border czar, Brendan Carr, his pick for FCC chair, Stephen Miller, all of these folks have ties to this proposal that, as you mentioned, he really did try to create some distance between himself on the campaign trail from that proposal. So what we are seeing now is that Trump heading into office actually bringing in some people who have some pretty significant ties to this thing that he once called extreme.
Well, Republicans avoided a pretty huge fight when Matt Gaetz withdrew as Trump's AG nominee. There is a lot of controversy about the pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. What can you tell us more about that?
Well, we know that Hegseth has come under scrutiny for some facing sexual assault allegations. Obviously no charges were brought against him, but he is one of the picks that Donald Trump has had up on Capitol Hill meeting with senators, trying to, get a sense of where they are and have them hear him out and hear his case. He's also one of these candidates that is perhaps the more controversial of Donald Trump's nominees. When you're talking about Hegseth, talking about Tulsi Gabbard or RFK Jr., these are candidates that might have a bit of a tough time getting through the confirmation process because Republicans really only have a narrow majority in the Senate. So they can only afford to lose a couple votes on any one of these nominations to get them through in the traditional order if all Democrats oppose these nominations. So Donald Trump standing by his nominees as of right now, saying that this is his cabinet, that he is excited to see them go through this nomination process and wants it to get done in a swift manner so they can hit the ground running come January.
Molly, Trump and his team moving much faster than they did in 2016. Does that speed indicate anything about the next 4 years?
Well, it's pretty remarkable that we're not yet 3 weeks out from the election, and we're seeing Donald Trump essentially say, here it is, here's my cabinet, we're all finished. This is a very different speed than he used during his first administration, but I think the important thing to remember here is in 2016, Donald Trump had not held office before. He was coming into this very new, very green, maybe unsure of what they were going to face. This time around, it's very different. They have had 4 years in the White House, and they understand what they need to do and how this kind of plays out and how this process can go. So clearly learning from their experience 8 years ago doing this the first time around, moving much faster and looking to get people in place a lot quicker than they did the first time.
All right. Molly Nagel from Washington. Molly, thanks so much.